is a small feature film credit, but it is your first one, Private Parts. I also listen to Howard Stern interviews nonstop, so I was definitely going to bring this one up. Your first experience on a film set can, make a pretty big impression and set certain expectations as you go out into the industry and book more of them. So even though it was just that one scene, like especially with a scene like that, what kind of expectations does that particular set for you going forward?
Here's what's funny. I think I auditioned. That movie was like, I was still in acting school. I I think I auditioned for like that movie, like for 10 other parts. Like I just kept going in and going because it was such a big, it was a big movie. It had so much happening. Um, I we shot on a Saturday, which was weird. I was like, you shoot on a Saturday. Like, that felt weird. I think we were at Silver Cup Studios. I remember like, I felt like Howard, because he was like doing the show and doing this, he had an apartment almost that like he could like sleep there or live there because he was like just like working. He was very serious. I remember being very nervous about meeting him. I just remember being scared he was going to ask me something that my, like, I don't know, however 19-year-old brain would be nervous about, or I didn't know. And he was so generous and so kind. And Robin was so lovely. And my mom really loved Howard Stern. And she thought it was such a cool job. And Betty Thomas was directing. And I think I sent her flowers. Like I was such a nerd. I was like, "Man, I'm going to send Betty Thomas flowers." I remember at lunch, they had lobster and they really had a nice lunch for like their cast and crew. That was the first thing where I was like, oh yeah, nobody treats you like that's not common. Like the way, like they were very lovely to their crew. And that's not always, there's sometimes not the budget, but sometimes you just don't have producers who give a shit about making sure their crew. But that really stuck in me. Like whenever I produce, like I've been on sets where I've gotten to produce a movie, I'm always like, we're feeding, like it's an important thing. I just remember that really stuck with me of how much the crew really loved it. Because it was like the simplest way to just make sure you're saying to them like, thank you. And we couldn't do this without you in a weird way. I don't know. I just remember being so scared and like, don't fuck up your lines. Don't forget them. And that woman swallowed that sword over and over and over, or did that, not a sword, well, whatever it was. Or that kielbasa. I always say it's like sword swallowing. Swallowed that kielbasa sausage over and over. And I remember, I think I walked up to her at some point and I was like, do you need water or something? And I was like, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, my throat's just a little sore. She's like, I've got to fly out for a bachelor party this afternoon or so. Like, it was just like, it was so like, she was like, it's a job, but it was just like, I was like, because on a set you do it over and over and over from every different angle. And I'm sure she was like, she's sort of like, it's one and done, I'm sure, for her, and like, that was just crazy. Yeah, I remember it was a big movie, feeling like it was a big movie. Yeah, but the lunch really stuck out to me. How nice it was. Fancy. It was fancy. It's lobster. It was lobster at lunch.
I love hearing about cast and crews where every single person is treated with the utmost respect and gets what they deserve for their hard work. And that's what that lobster says to me. So
Yeah.
now I love Private Parts even more.
Yeah, and it was just like, I just feel like I really think that really came from Howard. Like, I think Howard, it seemed like, I don't know, he just really struck me as like, and he was very serious about the work, which I thought was really cool because, I never, like, I don't think I think that script was really like under lock and key. So like, I didn't read the whole script. I would just get audition for this part, audition for this part, that going through. And so I remember feeling like not being like, oh, well, he's not an actor. He's like he's this, radio host, disc jockey guy, whatever. And getting there and really seeing how serious he was. I'm thinking that was really cool too, how it mattered to him.